You are listening to AR Tales. This story is about a man whose fiancée wanted one last freedom before marriage and then learned what real freedom looks like when trust is gone. As you listen, think about the exact moment where you would have walked away. She said, "I deserve one last freedom before marriage." At the time, I laughed. It was about 3 months ago. Madison and I were on the couch, half buried in wedding invitations and color samples. She had this little testing smile when she said it, like she was joking but also watching my face. "One last wild night before we get married," she said, twirling a pen between her fingers. I told her she could have whatever she wanted. I meant it as a joke, too. 4 years together, 8 months engaged, I trusted her. People joke about cold feet, about one last party. I thought that was all it was. Looking back, that was the first moment where something in me felt off, and I smoothed it over instead of listening to it. A lot of us do that. We confuse not making a scene with being a good partner. Last Friday night, I was at the office doing what I always do. I am a structural engineer. Buildings make sense to me. Numbers are simple. You put the right load in the right place, it either holds or it does not. Around 10 p.m., my phone started buzzing nonstop. Instagram notifications. A missed call from my sister, Claire. More notifications. I opened Instagram. Madison's story popped up first. She was at her bachelorette party. Silver dress, flashing lights, her bridesmaids around her on a club dance floor. The caption said, "Final weekend of freedom before I say goodbye to bad decisions," with a row of emojis. For most of the video, it looked like a normal party. Loud music, drinks, Madison dancing, laughing. Then the last 3 seconds played. She turned around and there was a shirtless guy behind her, hands on her waist. She leaned back into him, laughing. The angle made it very clear this was not some accidental bump on a crowded dance floor. What made my stomach drop was the background. This was supposed to be a girls' weekend at a lake house 2 hours outside Austin. No guys allowed. Her mom, Donna, helped plan it. They made a whole thing about no phones, no distractions, just girls. In the background of that video, I saw a neon sign. 6th Street, downtown Austin. 20 minutes from our apartment. That is the moment where the story stopped being a joke and started being data. When someone's actions do not match their story, believe the actions. My phone started ringing. Madison, I did not answer. She called again and again. Then her mom, her maid of honor, Jessica. I put my phone on silent. Instead, I left a comment on the story. "Freedom looks great on you, Mads." 5 minutes later, the story was gone. My comment was already screenshotted by then. It did not matter if she deleted it. The internet never really forgets. While the world was busy reacting, I did something else. I logged into our apartment building's security portal. We have doorbell cameras on every unit. I scrolled through the week and stopped at Tuesday night, 11:47 p.m. There she was. Madison walked up to our front door with a man. They were talking, standing close. Then she kissed him, not an awkward goodbye kiss on the cheek, a long kiss, his hand on her face, her hand on his chest. They pulled apart, he left. She went inside, clear timestamp, clear video, clear faces. I downloaded the footage. When I finally drove home around midnight on Friday, Madison was on the couch in sweatpants, makeup smeared, eyes red. She jumped up as soon as I walked in. "It is not what it looked like," she started, words tumbling over each other. "The guy is Evan, my trainer from the gym. He just showed up. The girls thought it would be funny. I had too much to drink. You are overreacting." While she was talking, I pulled out my phone and tapped the doorbell recording from Tuesday night. I held it up. She watched herself on the screen, kissing Evan at our front door. Her whole body went still. The color drained from her face. Then she switched scripts. "It was a mistake," she said. "I was drunk. It did not mean anything." Here is the thing about drunk mistakes. You do not accidentally schedule them for a random Tuesday night while your fiancé is working late. That is not a slip. That is a pattern. I told her I believed her about Tuesday. I believed it happened. I believed it probably was not the first time. She started crying harder. She asked what I was going to do. She wanted to know if I was breaking up with her. I told her I did not know yet. All I knew was that I could not sleep in that apartment that night. She begged me to stay and talk it through. I told her I did not want to work through anything in that moment. Then I grabbed my gym bag and left. I went to Claire's house. I did not sleep much. I lay on her couch replaying every moment of the last 4 years. Tuesday night at the door. The Freedom joke on the couch. The club on 6th Street. It felt like pieces of a puzzle that had always been there, finally snapping into place. The next morning, I woke up to 43 text messages, most from Madison. Paragraphs, apologies, explanations, promises. 3 from Donna demanding I call her. 1 from my dad asking if I was okay. I answered my dad. Then I opened my laptop and started canceling a wedding. The venue first. They kept the deposits. I did not care. Then the photographer, the florist, the DJ, the caterer. Anything with my name on it was gone by noon. When I finished, I texted Madison. The wedding is canceled. Everything under my name is canceled. You are free now. She called immediately. I did not answer. Instead, I opened Instagram and uploaded the doorbell footage from Tuesday night. No music, no filters, just the raw clip. The caption said, a preview from her Freedom weekend, Tuesday night. I left the timestamp in. I tagged Madison. I tagged our wedding hashtag. Within 20 minutes, Donna was calling, screaming. She told me I was destroying her daughter's reputation. She said I had no right to cancel the wedding without talking to their family. She said posting that video was cruel. I told her I was acting like an adult. I had canceled a wedding I was not going to attend. I had moved out of an apartment shared with someone I did not trust. If she was worried about reputation, she should talk to her daughter about kissing other men while wearing an engagement ring. Donna hung up. 5 minutes later, Madison posted. It was a Notes app screenshot. A long block of text about making a mistake, about how she loved me, how she was working on herself. Half apology, half blame. She said I was controlling. She said I never understood her need for attention. She said her friend Evan was just being supportive. Up until that point, no one knew the guy in the video was Evan. I had never said his name. Madison had just told everyone. The comments started coming in fast. People asked how I would know it was Evan unless she had told me. People asked why her supportive friend was at her bachelorette party. People asked why a friend needed to kiss someone wearing an engagement ring for support. Then a new comment appeared from a woman named Tara. So that is why you ghosted me Tuesday night. She tagged Evan. She tagged Madison. Then she posted screenshots, messages between Evan and Madison, dates going back 3 months, plans to meet up, photos they had sent each other. Turns out Evan had a girlfriend, Tara, and she had just found out the same way everyone else did. Madison deleted her apology post, but it did not matter. Screenshots moved faster than damage control. Our wedding group chat exploded. Bridesmaids, groomsmen, extended family, everyone talking at once. I muted it and went back to my spreadsheets. At least beams and load calculations did not lie. That evening, I got a Venmo notification. Madison had sent me $3,000. The note said, for my half of the wedding. I sent it back. The note I attached said, Freedom refund, no exchanges accepted. Later that night, Jessica, her maid of honor, called me. She asked if there was any way we could work it out. I asked her one question. Did you know about Evan before Friday night? There was a long pause. Then she said yes. She knew Madison had been texting him. She knew Madison had met him a few times. I thanked her for being honest and hung up. Sometimes the deepest betrayal is not just the person who cheated, but the people who stood around it, shrugged, and called it messy but normal. For a couple of days, things were quiet online. In real life, they were not. On Monday morning, I got a message from Tara. She thanked me. She said she had suspected something for weeks, but Evan kept telling her she was paranoid. Seeing the video confirmed everything. She broke up with him on Saturday night. She also told me something I did not know. Evan had been telling Madison he was going to break up with Tara soon. He told Madison they had a future together. Madison believed him. She thought she would have her wild night and then eventually end up with Evan after he left Tara. That explained why she seemed so shocked when I ended things. In her head, she had a backup plan. Tuesday afternoon, Madison's parents showed up at Claire's house. I was at work. Claire called to tell me they were on her porch demanding to speak to me. She told them I was not there. Donna said they would wait. Claire said no and shut the door. They stayed on the porch for 20 minutes. Claire recorded them through her own doorbell camera. Donna started yelling through the door, saying I was ruining their family's reputation, that Madison had made one mistake and I was punishing her like a child, that real men forgive, and that their social circle was talking. Robert, her dad, said they were prepared to sue me for emotional damages, that posting the video was illegal. Claire opened the door. "You are not suing anyone," she told them. "The video was recorded on property he pays rent for. Emotional damages work both ways. If you want to take this to court, we can talk about the emotional damages your daughter caused by cheating on him for 3 months while planning a wedding." "Now get off my porch." Robert pulled Donna away. "Claire sent me the footage. I saved that too." Later, her boss, who is a family law attorney, called me. He told me they had no case. The video was recorded on my property. Even if they tried, they would lose. He told me to keep every message and every email. When people start throwing around "we will sue," what they are usually hoping for is that you panic and back down. Documentation is the calmer answer. On Wednesday morning, I got a call from Nancy, the venue coordinator. She said Donna had called earlier in the week trying to rebook the venue. Nancy told her the date was no longer available. Then she told me why. Another couple had come in on Sunday to look at dates for an engagement party. Their names were Evan and Tara. When Nancy heard Evan and saw Tara, she put it together and asked if they knew Madison. Tara laughed and told her the whole story. She also told Nancy that she and Evan had gotten engaged 6 months ago, long before Evan and Madison started their affair. So Evan had been engaged to Tara while sleeping with Madison. Madison thought he was going to leave Tara for her. And while he was telling Madison about their future together, he was planning an engagement party with Tara. Some people are not just dishonest, they are efficient about it. Nancy asked if I wanted her to tell Donna any of that. When she called back, I told her no. Donna would find out eventually. Friday evening, my dad called. He said Donna had sent him a 4-page email. In it, she said I was abusive toward Madison. She said I isolated Madison from her friends. She said I controlled her finances. She said she was worried about my mental health and that my behavior was unstable. My dad asked if any of it was true. I told him no. He said he did not think so but wanted to hear it from me. I forwarded the email to Claire's boss. He said that if Donna sent anything else like that, we should respond through an attorney. He said those were serious accusations and could be considered defamation. He drafted a short response for me. It said that Donna's claims were false, that I had documentation proving the opposite, and that any future communication about me should go through legal counsel. I sent it Saturday morning. Donna did not reply. On Sunday, I sat with Claire in her kitchen. She asked how I was really doing. For the first time, I said it out loud. "I feel relieved," I told her. "Not happy, not yet, but not destroyed either." She nodded, then handed me a coffee mug, white ceramic, simple black letters, "Freedom Engineer." She said she had it made for me. I laughed. It was the first real laugh I had in over a week. Tomorrow would have been 6 weeks until the wedding. Instead, I was sitting in my sister's house, drinking coffee from a mug that made me smile and realizing that freedom actually did look good on me. Just not in the way Madison meant. 2 weeks later, I moved back into our apartment. Madison had already moved out. Building management told me her dad had come to get her things. He signed in, carried out boxes, left. Clean. When I walked into the apartment that night, I knew something was wrong. My gaming setup was destroyed. PlayStation in pieces on the floor, monitor cracked straight down the middle, keyboard snapped, chair slashed. Everything else in the apartment was untouched. On the coffee table was a note. "Oops, I was grabbing my stuff and accidentally dropped something. Sorry." The handwriting was not Madison's. I called building security. They checked the logs. 2 people had come to the unit that day, Robert at 2 p.m. and someone else at 4:30 using Madison's key fob. The guard pulled the hallway footage. A blonde woman in her mid-20s walked up to my door, looked straight into the camera and unlocked the door. 15 minutes later, she walked out. Erin, Madison's younger sister. I took screenshots of the footage and photos of the damage. The total cost to replace everything was about $4,200. I texted Erin the video. No message, just the clip. She replied 3 minutes later. That was an accident. Madison asked me to get her jewelry box and I tripped. I wrote back. You tripped and destroyed $4,000 worth of equipment, then left a note about it. That is not an accident. That is vandalism. You have 24 hours to send me $4,200 or I file a police report for felony property damage. She did not respond, so I filed the report anyway. I sent the police everything, the footage, the photos, the note. The officer told me it was clear. Property damage over $1,000 is a felony in Texas. 6 hours later, I got a Venmo notification, $4,200 from Erin. The note just said, sorry. The officer said I could still press charges if I wanted. I thought about it. I had the money. I had the footage. And I had proof that Madison's family thought they could smash my things to get back at me and it would be fine. I decided not to press charges. Sometimes the real win is knowing you could push the button and choosing not to. Not because they deserve mercy, but because you are done spending energy on them. That did not stop Madison from trying to control the narrative. The next day, she posted an Instagram story. It was a screenshot of text she had sent me asking to talk and my lack of response. The caption read, "When someone ghosts you after you try to apologize." Cannot believe he called the cops on family. No mention of the destroyed equipment. No mention of the $4,200. Around that time, Tara messaged me again. She said Evan had reached out to Madison 2 days earlier. He told Madison that he and Tara were having problems and he wanted to see her. Madison agreed. They met for coffee. Tara found out because Evan forgot his location sharing was still on. She confronted him. He admitted he wanted to see if things with Madison were really over. Tara broke up with him on the spot and told me she was done for good. I felt bad for her, but I also felt something else, relief. Madison was still meeting the same man who helped blow up her engagement just 2 weeks after everything. She had not learned anything. Patterns do not disappear because someone cries and writes a long apology. They change when the behavior changes. Hers did not. On Wednesday afternoon, Donna tried something new. She left a 1-star review on my company's Google page. She used a fake name, but she mentioned me by name in the review, said I was unprofessional, emotionally unstable, and should not be trusted with client projects. My boss saw it before I did. He flagged it as defamation and contacted Google to have it removed. He also told me that if Donna kept trying to damage my professional reputation, the company's legal team would get involved. The review was gone within a day. That evening, I went to Claire's house for dinner. Jenna, a project manager from my firm, was there. She and Claire had become friends. We ate together. We did not talk about Madison or the drama from Instagram or Google reviews. We talked about work, movies, hiking trails around Austin. It was simple. Normal. When I was leaving, Jenna walked me to the door and handed me a small box. Inside was another mug. This one also said Freedom Engineer on one side and Keep Building on the other. Claire told me about the first one, she said. I thought you might need a matching set. I thanked her. As I drove home, I realized I was smiling, not because any of this mess had happened, but because there were still people who showed up with kindness instead of chaos. That weekend was supposed to be my wedding weekend. Instead, I spent it at Topgolf with my dad and Claire. We hit golf balls, made jokes, talked about everything except Madison. At the end of the day, I posted one photo of the 3 of us with our clubs. The caption said, "Perfect weather for freedom, no refunds necessary." Madison did not comment, but Jenna texted me. She said the photo made her smile, then she added, "If you ever want to grab coffee sometime, I would like that." I told her I would like that too. We made plans for Tuesday. 4 weeks earlier, I was planning a wedding. Now I was planning a coffee date with someone who had not lied to me, not cheated on me, not smashed my things. Someone who just showed up with a mug and a smile. 3 months passed. The first month was hard, not because I missed Madison, but because I kept waiting for the next hit. Another email, another review, Another stunt. Eventually, I realized the silence was not a pause. It was the end. Work became my anchor. My boss promoted me to lead structural engineer on a major downtown project. The promotion came with a raise. I moved out of the old apartment and bought a townhouse on the east side, small backyard, no memories of Madison. Coffee with Jenna turned into dinner. Dinner turned into hiking on weekends. We went slow. No rushing, no pressure. Just two people getting to know each other without lies sitting in the middle of every conversation. Claire told me she had never seen me this calm. She was probably right. Jenna is steady. She does not play games. She does not post cryptic songs and quotes aimed at people she refuses to talk to. She just shows up when she says she will, with food or a joke or another mug. Real love is not supposed to feel like you are constantly waiting for the other shoe to drop. Sometimes the most dramatic thing is peace. Last month I was at Target running a normal errand when I saw Madison in the cleaning supplies aisle. She looked tired. Hair in a messy bun, dark circles under her eyes, no makeup. Donna and Aaron were with her. Donna saw me and turned away. Aaron followed. Madison did not. She took off her sunglasses and walked over. "Ryan," she said. "Hi, I did not expect to see you here," I said hi back. "I have been wanting to reach out," she said. "I am in therapy now. My therapist says I sabotage good things because I do not think I deserve them. I wanted you to know I am working on myself. She says it is important to take accountability. So I am. I am sorry, Ryan, for everything." She sounded tired. She looked genuine. I believed she was in therapy. I believed she was sorry, but being sorry does not reset history. It does not glue trust back together. "I appreciate you telling me that," I said. "I hope therapy helps you." She nodded, then asked, "Do you think you will ever be able to forgive me?" I thought about it. "Maybe someday," I said, "but not for you, for me. Because holding on to anger does not serve me, but that does not mean we will be friends. It does not mean I trust you. It just means I am choosing to move forward." She looked down at her cart. "Are you happy now?" she asked. "I see you have a new place. Things worked out for you." Still keeping tabs on my life through social media. "I am doing well," I said. "Better than I was. I hope you are too." "I am trying," she said. "It has been hard, losing you, losing Evan, losing friends. My parents barely talked to me. For a moment, I felt something close to pity, but the truth was simple. She lost those things because of choices she made again and again. Then she said the one thing that proved therapy had not yet reached the root. "I just wish I had not posted that Instagram story from the bachelorette party," she said. "That is what ruined everything. If I had kept it private, we could have worked through it." In her mind, the problem was not the affair, not the lying, not bringing another man to our front door. The problem was the evidence. "The Instagram post did not ruin anything," I told her. "The cheating ruined it. The lying ruined it. Posting it just exposed what was already broken." She looked genuinely confused. "But if I had not posted it," she said, "you never would have known. We could have gotten married and been happy." I gave her a small, sad smile. "If you really believe that," I said, "then your therapist still has a lot of work to do." Donna appeared behind her then. "We need to go," she said sharply. Madison looked at me one more time. "I hope someday you can forgive me, Ryan," she said. "Take care, Madison," I replied. As they walked away, Donna turned over her shoulder and said, "You will regret losing her." I did not turn around. That is the point, I thought. I planned to regret the time I wasted, not the decision to walk away. I finished my shopping and drove home. Jenna was already there when I walked in. She has a key now. She smiled, moved over on the couch so I could sit, and handed me a blanket without making a big deal out of anything. I told her about seeing Madison at Target. Jenna listened, nodded, and waited until I finished. "Do you think you will regret it?" she asked. I thought about the couch, the doorbell footage, the Venmo payments, the smashed equipment, the emails, the reviews, the Target aisle. "No," I said. "I will regret the time I spent believing someone who was lying to me, but I will not regret ending it. That was the best decision I made." "Good," Jenna said. "Because I really like this version of you, the one who knows what he deserves." We spent the rest of the evening watching a movie. Just a quiet Sunday night with someone who shows up, who does not make me question my reality every time my phone buzzes. A few weeks ago, out of habit, I checked my doorbell camera before heading out. Same model, same angle. This time I felt nothing but peace. No tightness in my chest, no dread. Just a notification that no longer meant anything bad. Madison wanted one last wild night before marriage. I gave her all the freedom she wanted. She lost a fiancé, friends, and a version of her reputation she cared about more than the truth. I lost the version of myself who thought love meant accepting betrayal. In the end, I think we both got what we needed. Here are the lessons I took from this. Lesson 1. When someone jokes about wanting freedom from the relationship, pay attention to what they actually do with it, not how they explain it later. Lesson 2. Cheating is not a drunken accident. It is usually a series of choices, covered by lies and supported by people who look the other way. Lesson 3. Exposure does not ruin a healthy relationship. It only ruins the illusion around a broken one. Lesson 4. Family and friends who enable lies are part of the problem. Boundaries with them are just as important as boundaries with the partner. Lesson 5. Documenting and calmly enforcing consequences is not petty. It is self-respect. Lesson 6. Real freedom is not doing whatever you want without consequences. It is walking away from people who show you over and over that they cannot be trusted. What about you? At what point in this story would you have walked away? And if you had the video proof, would you have kept it private or shared it the way I did?